everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikol. I'm a writer and a freelance editor. There's a lot of writing advice out there. Some are good, some are bad. There's a lot of bad. I just want to tell you guys about the writing advice that I really hate, because there's a lot of writing advice out there that's really good, but a lot of it is really bad, and I don't understand why they exist. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 3 writing advices that I really hate and I don't understand where they come from, and they just like, really grind my gears. Here they go. Number 1, don't start with weather. Why not? I don't actually know who came up with this, and I didn't actually know this was a thing until like last year. I took a writing class. I submitted something in for critique, and one of my classmates said, you're never supposed to start with weather, and I had no idea why. I'd never heard this. Ruth Ware's The Death of Mrs. Westaway starts off with weather. Case in point, if I can find it. Chapter 1. The girl leaned rather than walked into the wind, clutching the damp package of fish and chips. Leaned rather than walked into the wind. That sounds like weather to me. Weather can be a really great device to set the tone, set the scene. There's a huge difference between a bright sunny day feeling and a dark and stormy night feeling. Also, weather has a huge impact on people. When it's bright and sunny outside, I know I definitely feel a lot happier than during a dark, stormy night. Although I am kind of a macabre person, so dark and stormy nights don't bother me that much. Windy days affect me a lot. We get something called a Chinook, which is a warm wind coming in from the west, and a lot of people get headaches during this time. I am one of these people, and if you've ever suffered from a migraine, you know what I'm talking about. So weather can be a really great device to set the scene, to show what the character is going through. I don't know where this came from. Use weather, start with weather. I don't care. Number 2, don't use said. This is a really popular advice that came from grade 3 or grade 4 language arts class. I hated those assignments where we had to write a story without using the word said. Like, come on. Every book has said in it. Fair enough, it can be overused. If you're constantly saying, he said this, she said that, right after another, it can definitely seem repetitive. You can definitely use alternatives like replied, exclaimed, asked, if it's appropriate. I think the point of those elementary school exercises was for you to understand that dialogue tags should be used sparingly. It's more compelling, more engaging for the reader to have a character say a line of dialogue and then have an action, because this conveys emotion much better, much more strongly. Don't know if that's a word, doesn't matter. It is more engaging storytelling. It's definitely more active, more dynamic, but there's really nothing wrong with saying said. There's tons and tons of saids in books, so please, language arts teachers, please stop this exercise. And number 3, this is probably the one that I hate the most, is write every day. Why? I feel like this advice comes from such a place of privilege. It is usually touted by people who do have this privilege, mainly old white men, although not always. It's not feasible for everybody. Some people only write for like 2 or 3 months out of the year, and then that's it. Some people sneak in writing whenever they can. That might be every day, that might be once or twice a week, but at the end, they all come out with the same thing, a finished manuscript. It doesn't really matter how fast you're writing. It doesn't really matter when you're writing, if you're writing every day or you're not. It's gonna get done eventually. Now, it is a good idea to have a set writing schedule, to know that this is my writing time and everybody else can just go off and be without me for a while. But it's totally not feasible for everybody. Some people have children. Some people have other family members to take care of. Some people, life just happens to them and they just can't get their shit together and write every day. This advice is just, it's not feasible for everybody. You definitely have to find what works for you. You don't have to write every day. If you're not writing every day, maybe you're writing every other day or once a week or whatever, you're still a writer. Just because somebody writes every day doesn't mean that they are more of a writer or a better writer, because I know people who write every day and they still haven't finished a book. So that's the top 3 writing advice that I hate, that I wish would just go away. Stop telling writers this. And now it's your turn. Tell me, what are the top 3 or 4, 5, 6 writing advices that you hate? Let me know the writing advices that you hate, that you wish would just go away. Stop telling writers this. Let me know down in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because I post videos every week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!